Hello, everybody. I'm really happy to be back in the Ayahuasca talks. I have been very busy the last month, so this month I'm having holidays, and I'm going to try to give it as much as I can for all of those interested in learn more about the Ayahuasca world. I will be waiting for people to connect. I will try to see if I can share the video. Berlin is coming on my phone. Also, please, can you let me know if the audio is good? If the audio is good, will be amazing. Share to your history. I'm sharing the video. It's good. Thank you. Thank you. If you want to share the video, you can share it also. Feel welcome to share it. Well, today the ayahuasca talks is about the training of the ayahuasca healers, shamans, curanderos. Many people in the ayahuasca circles, they get upset when we use the term shaman, but this is like the global word that people can relate or know easier when you talk about a healer. But well, in Peru and in the Amazon, curandero is the word for the people that are working with plants or with other kinds of healing besides the doctors. Curanderos. And for the women, curanderas. Hello, Faisa. Hello, Yuri, Jenny. Also, we have different words for the different kind of curanderos or healers that we have in the Amazon, especially in Peru. Like the people that is specialized in work with ayahuasca, we call them ayahuasqueros. The people that work with San Pedro, San Pedreros. The people that work exclusively like with tobacco, tabaqueros. And for me, a shaman, the word shaman, embrace many concepts. For me, the word shaman is like or healer is like the global word for all the different practices that we have. And a person can become a shaman when has learned to use different tools, not just one. Like I always say, like a shaman is a shaman if he's able to work with all the plants, because it's about working with the energy and learning how the energy is working. But of course, we have more compatibility with certain things, with certain tools, with certain plants, with certain practices than with others. Like with people, we connect sometimes more with certain people, and sometimes we don't connect at all with other people. And it's the same in this ayahuasca world, or in this world of the shamanism or healing. I really am interested in know if people have questions that we can interact, to know what really you guys want to know about the training of a shaman, like because there are so many different aspects to touch and to talk about it, that we can be here sitting for a couple of days. I think. But I think that there are very punctual things that we can touch, like for example, how a person can know, when it's called to do this work, um, and when you know that you're ready, and what is the process to learn how to work with the plants. And I will share from my experience. I will share, my path as a ayahuasquera, as a healer. At the age of 22, I decided to quit my work as a lawyer. I'm a lawyer, or used to be a lawyer, because I suffered from depression. Uh, this is 10 years ago. That subject was not very popular in Latin America, at least, like what's depression. And now, nowadays, I know that this was, my condition. I just feel that something was wrong with me. I could not enjoy life, even when I have everything that I could be grateful for. I was healthy, I have education, I have work, I have friends, I have family. I have everything I wanted, but still I was empty. I was unhappy. I feel miserable. It was like every morning, waking up, it was like, oh, I'm awake again, I'm here again. And through all these 10 years, this has changed. Now it's like when I wake up, it's like, oh, I'm so happy to be alive, what I'm going to do today, how I can contribute, to this planet to be a better place, how I can make of myself a better person. And it's excited now. It's very exciting now to be alive. It's very exciting now to live day by day life. In 10 years ago, this for me was not possible to even think about that I can have a happy life. And my journey of finding why I have that emptiness, that depression, brought me to meet a person that will bring me to the ayahuasca shamans in Peru. I'm from Peru. I'm from the Peruvian jungle, but for us, the people in the Amazon, not now anymore, unfortunately, but in my times, 10 years ago, and a little bit before, we still have the respect for this work, and we still have the respect for the spiritual work, for the spirits. And this is something that nowadays it's gone, unfortunately, and that is coming back. And like plants that ayahuasca are helping to restore this in each of us. I remember I saw a documentary in the Peruvian television, and it was so well done that you could see the sacredness of this plant, and also that it really have something to give. So I was really interested already when I was 16 to do ayahuasca. I was really called by that time. Unfortunately, the timing it didn't come, because I felt like if it needs to come, it will come. My father promised me that he will bring me, but then he forgot. And then later I met a shaman that was working with ayahuasca, and he brought me to his teachers in Iquitos in Peru. And the first day when I arrived there, this is a place, like, to go there you need to take a boat, go through the Amazon River, like I think it's 30 minutes, and then you can walk, or you can go in like transport that they have the locals there, that it takes another 20 minutes, and then it's 1 hour walking inside of the jungle. And in my teacher's place, one of my teacher place, because during these 10 years I have met other teachers, and in my teacher place they didn't have electricity, they didn't have running water. It was the real life in the jungle of indigenous people. My teacher, he was from the Witoto, and his wife was a jaguar. That is some of the tribes that we have in the Amazon. And I remember that for me being there, it was a big step, because yes, I'm born in the jungle, but I grew up in a small town. So it's not like the cities here. Still, the cities here are more advanced, but you can say that I was a city girl. And being there in the jungle and realizing how spoiled I was, and how lucky I was also in my life. I I didn't realize these things until I came, to those moments in my life, and to this place, uh, where people eat from where they hunt, or what they harvest from their plantations. If they are not doing that, then they don't have for eating, and if they don't go to collect the water, they don't have the water. So it's a life that is very simple, that is also very connected with the nature, and a lot of us have already missed out. Like, we are very used to be born and to have a house and to have electricity and to have water and to have hot water. That's a luxury. To have washing machines, kitchens, air conditioned cars, telephones, computers, like all these things that we take for granted. And when I was there in the jungle, I realized, like, how many things we take for granted, how many things we our egos assume that belongs to us. And when we don't really have anything, we come to this planet with anything, and we live with anything than just what we learned here and what we did. The time in the jungle, for me, it was a time where I really went into the deepest of my core, where I took the opportunity to meet who I am, where I could confront my fears. When I arrived there, my teacher told me that I'm going to become a shaman, and in that moment when he told me this, he whispered this to me. I just smile and say, no, 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 I'm not here for that. uh, I'm here just to see how can I help myself, because um, together with the depression, I have suicidal thoughts every day. Every day since I have memory, I have suicidal thoughts. Every day I was thinking about doing that. And once I try it, but it's a very funny history actually, because I'm a little bit naive. So I hear that you can die if you eat the sleeping pills, and that they are very strong, and you should not take more than two. So I took four. And what happened is just that I have a really good sleep that day, and next day I was happy again. And it was a very funny experience, because I really wanted to die, but it didn't happen. So I took it like a sign, and still it didn't erase the fact that I was still thinking about dying every day. When I was there in the jungle, my ceremonies, I was really lucky, that my ceremonies were very private. Like, it was me, my teacher, and my boyfriend in that time, only us, in this very humble house, very rustic house that is made just with wood and mosquito net and banana leaves as a roof, with the singing of the insects, the rain, the smell of the earth. It was a very beautiful experience when I saw and meet the spirits in ayahuasca. My first ceremony was, I didn't feel it really, but it was not in the jungle. I did a ceremony in the city the first time, and it didn't work. And the second ceremony, that was with my teacher, that was like the one that opened the Pandora box in me, for me to see how much was out there. And this was something that my soul was longing, like, to know that this is not the only place that exists. Like, the earth is not the only place that me, Naisha, is not the only experience that I have. I could connect in a soul level with me, with the universe, and understand how much is out there to explore, and how much is also inside of me to explore. And this little by little start to bring me back the hope, because this was a confirmation of what I always felt, but nobody and nowhere I could find this, until I came to do the medicines. And In Peru, we have something that it's a practice, it's an ancient practice, it's a sacred practice, and this is how the ayahuasca shamans become ayahuasca shamans. This is the practice of the dietas, the plant dietas, the dietas with master plants, and a lot of people, they don't know about this practice because they're more focused into the ayahuasca experience. And not into the dietas because there is not a lot of information, and this is something that I believe it will start spreading more, because ayahuasca is 10% of all the ayahuasca world. Ayahuasca is just like one door, to connect. There is all these other spirits behind that are creating the ceremonies that are teaching us, that are bringing the healing, and ayahuasca is just a channel for all this to happen, for us to see. I say always that ayahuasca is like the shaman of the plants, and that ayahuasca has evolved, or has the ability to speak with us humans, that we are all other kind of beings and spirits, and like that we can communicate and exchange information. They learn from us and we learn from them as well. And the dietas is a very important practice, that it's similar to other practices from India, for example, or Asia. Vipassana, meditation, are practices that brings you to explore your inner self. And when we do a dieta, we are in isolation. And why we are in isolation? There are many reasons why we need to be isolated. One is because of all the distractions that we are living day by day. The other is because we never really have time to get to know ourselves, because of all the distractions that are surrendering us, and all the distractions that also we are constantly creating, avoiding to be present, avoiding to be in the now. So for a shaman to learn how to work with the medicine, it is very important to be connected and grounded in the present, in the now, because here and now is where everything we need is happening. The dietas is the time that we take to look inside, is the time that we take to clean in different levels, to clean the body. The people that wants to heal or wants to learn to work with the plants, they need to reset their systems. There is a lot of healing. There is a lot of healing that happens during the dieta, and it's only focus in releasing, letting go things, and learning. And to do that, we have many restrictions. Like, for example, we cannot eat salt, we cannot eat fruits. There is very, very few things that you can eat, and it's mainly focused into give you a little bit of a strength, to do it as long as you can. There are shamans, they are doing these dietas for years, for 1 year, for 2 years, for 3 years. And in my experience, the process of becoming a shaman, and also it's very individual. I will say, the first years is about healing yourself, getting to know yourself. The second year is about using the tools that you've been receiving during the time that you was in introspection, and then the guidance that you receive from your teacher. It's the same like going to the university. Like, if you want to be a doctor, you don't go straight to operate. There is steps that you need to take. You need to study, you need to read books, and this is what we are doing when we are healing ourselves. That's the time when through our dreams and during the ceremonies, the spirits of the plants comes to teach us. That's like the reading of the books. And year by year, this knowledge start to expand more and more, and then it comes to the time when you are ready to operate. But before that, you need a teacher to know how to use the scalpel, right? And it's the same in the ayahuasca. Like you need your teacher to guide you still for a while until you have learned, all the details that are important. Like for example, how to open a ceremony, how to feel the energies in the room, how to move the energies in the room, how to move the energies in people, how to activate the energy in people, how to close the ceremony, how to invite the spirits, how to protect the space, how to raise the vibration, how to, like, no, I don't want to say like push people to process, but how to help people to get out of their minds by bringing them to the trance. And this is something also that it makes a big difference when people drink medicine, because sometimes people believe that it's about how strong is the brew, or how many blockages you have. It is also a combination of these factors, but it's also about the power of the shaman over the medicine, in how the medicine is being direct for how to work. I noticed this, in my work, that when I came here to work to Europe, I thought like, oh, my ayahuasca is not that strong, and I was making stronger ayahuasca. But as I was learning, and my vibration and my energy, was rising up, and receiving more Icaros, I learned that it's not about the ayahuasca itself. It's about the shaman and the power of the shaman, and how the shaman activates this medicine for other people. So the time when we are in the jungle with ourselves, this is for me the most, it was one of the most beautiful and also hardest experience of my life. And this is something that a lot of people that wants to work with the plants is missing out, because of the hurry of the status of being a shaman, or just start working with the medicine because they hear the call, like in the medicine. But when the medicine invites you, when the medicine sees that you have qualities, it doesn't mean that you can start working immediately the next day and doing ceremonies. It is like if you have a skills, you have a potential, but you need to develop that potential. When we are invited to work with the plants, we still like the piece of charcoal that through the process is going to become the diamond. And a lot of people get trapped in the ego games, but this is also part of everybody's journey to realize. It is very important to don't get lost in the different paths, spiritual paths, because as there is light, there is dark as well. And as there is true knowledge, there is also fake knowledge. As we can find ourselves, we can also lose ourselves. And it's very easy when we don't have a clear intention of why we want to do this work. And we need to remember that it's because we want to help. We want to help. That is the mission with every profession that we have in this planet. The purpose is to help. There is nothing different, between being an accountant, being a lawyer, being a shaman, than just that's what you like. That's what you feel comfortable. That's what is natural, for you. Everything that we do, all our skills are for being in the service. And when we forget this, it's when we get out of alignment, out of our paths. And that makes the difference between I believe the shamans in general. My journey with the plants in these 10 years has not been always in the light. I'm not saying that I don't believe there is evil in the planet. I think there is a lot of pain. a lot of pain that is bringing people, to take the wrong choices, and sometimes really wrong choices. Um, I believe there is light, and then there is degrees in this light. When we are farther from the light, when we are in the light, when we are in the center of the light, and for a shaman to learn, where a person is standing in their life, it is important to go through all these, degrees of the light. So in the beginning, when a person is learning, it's going to be a lot in the dark, because we are coming out of there to go towards the light, and where we will be able to see. We can imagine a dark room, and we want to enter there, and we want to see, but we need to put the light on first to be able to see. And most of us, we forget about doing our work. A lot of shamans nowadays that wants to become shamans, they forget the importance of first, healing yourself, and what is the intention with this work. The dietas, it's a very important time in the training of a shaman, because it brings perspective to life, it brings understanding to life, it gives all those elements that the shaman will need when it is working, to become humble, to become grateful, to go back to simplicity. That's when we start, to kill the ego. When I was in that time, I didn't realize, as I was saying, how much love my mother had for me, for example. And there were other kids, other parents that they have more. And yeah, sometimes, in my stupidity, I was like wondering why we don't have more. And when I was, with the indigenous people, and I see, how they survive, how happy they are for having something, the children helping, to go to collect the plants, and when the dad brings some, something that he had found, everybody was so happy. It was a celebration, and that they share in the kitchen. This happiness, because they will be able to eat meat, for example, or when they find the fruits, that they will have fruits. And then I remember, when I was eating frog legs, how lucky I was when my mother was saving the chicken breast for me, when she was giving, this part that she also liked it, to her kids, for the bed that I have, that I didn't realize how comfortable it was. For the electricity in my house, for the shower that I have. We didn't have hot water, but we have a shower. And I was really afraid in that time, in Iquitos. The people that has been in Iquitos knows that it's like an island, and there is not really clear rivers. You're very lucky if you have clear water there. For me, that was a problem, and to enter into dark water and not knowing what is there, because in that time I had so many fears, and I was thinking, no, an anaconda, whatever, is going to eat me if I enter there. So I need to adapt to the situation. And that was also something that has helped me a lot, and this is something that I see in Western societies that is very difficult to deal. The control that we have, to learn how to go with the flow and how to adapt to situations. This is one of the biggest skills that I'm grateful that I received. Because in that time, instead of like being unhappy and complaining that I cannot have a shower, I just realized, well, I can wait for the rain to come, and then I can have a shower with the water that I want. These small things make all the difference in the work that I do nowadays, and that led me to enjoy the traveling that I'm doing, and to be happy when I have to sleep on the floor, or when I have to sleep in a really nice hotel. It doesn't make any difference for me in my life than just being grateful for have a place to sleep, for have a roof over my head. And to get to these points inside of us, we need to go to these places in us. We need to get out of our comfort zone. That's the only way. in general, to be better. We don't grow in the comfort zone. I know this is something, that everybody says, but it is true. It is true. And many people, underestimate and don't know the difference, of your wisdom and just, information. Intellectual people, they have a lot of information. Wisdom, that comes, with the practice and the living. Not only, we're talking about, for example, compassion and love, but, living it day by day. When I was doing my diets, I was receiving a lot of information through my dreams, because it was clearing all my thoughts. When you're doing a diet, you bring yourself back to your natural energy flow. When we're exposed to so many electronics for so long time, we eventually get affected. And it's only in the nature where we can, get in tune again and balance again. That's why, day by day, when you're in the nature, you feel much better and much better, because you're going back to yourself, to who you are. I remember, when the noise in my head started to disappear, because in the beginning it was so many thoughts, like of all kinds, and you don't have control. This also happens a lot to people in ceremonies, like how they control their thoughts. The dieta was one way how, I managed to clear my thoughts, because this is just information that we are massively attacked when we are living so much people, in cities, and we are exposed to everybody's thoughts and all the information that is running through the Wi-Fi, for example, the antennas, the satellites, that we don't know anymore what is ours and what is not ours. And it's in this time, when you are with yourself, when you can start to recognize that what is you, what is not you, what is your thoughts, what is not your thoughts, what are your feelings, what are not your feelings. And these are also very important, for the shamans to know when they are working, so they don't get confused, they don't get affected by the things that their participants are bringing. And also, to know how to help them, with the energies. During the training, all the energy field clings, and you become so sensitive that you will recognize immediately when there is energy that shouldn't be there. You're opening all your senses. Every energy point start to work, and for this work we are taking plants that are not only ayahuasca. Like I say, ayahuasca is only 10%, of all this spiritual work. The master plants that we call master plants because they have something to teach us. They are, the trees that you have outside there in the forest, like the birch tree, like the pine tree, like the oak tree. We have all these kind of trees, in the Amazon, different names. And every plant, it has, a connection with energy point. And during the time when we are doing our diet, because diet, the word, it means restrictions of things, and when you're restricting yourself, it's because you want to become as sensitive as possible, and you don't want to have anything to interrupt your connection with this energy of the master plan, because they're very subtle energies that we have plants, for example, in Peru, that works with the root chakra, that with all the chakras. And it is important to connect with every plant, to spend a certain amount of time. It's like building a relationship. And how you build a relationship, and how you make a relationship stronger, with the time, spending time. You cannot build a strong relationship, if you're just 1 week or we need to be constant, especially when you want to learn how to work with the medicines. When this is not the intention, then it doesn't matter, how much time. But if you want to work with the medicine, the longer and the more that you build a relationship with the plants, the best. Because then you are going to know more their qualities, their properties, their energies, and also they will be, connected with you and listen to you when you call them in the ceremonies, because these are the plants, these are the spirits that are helping the people in the ceremonies to open the heart, to get rid of the fears, to clear the mind, to protect. This is the plants that we call. For example, tobacco is not just, a plant that you smoke. Tobacco has so many properties that only you get to know when you spend time also with the tobacco. And every spirit of the plant will come, to you in the time that is need to teach you, to give you the lesson that you will need when you will learn. In the Amazon, our teachers doesn't speak too much, because there is like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it. And only to get it, you need to spend time there. I will check if there is questions here. And yeah, I will go to also through the points of, the restrictions and why we have. For example, when a shaman is learning how to work with the plants, is not allowed, to have sex. And this is because during that time when you are, taking the master plants, you want to keep this energy with you. You want to integrate this energy with you. So in the moment of the orgasm, you release the energies as well. So that's why, it's important when you're learning that there is not orgasms, that there is not, sexual interaction, because there is also exchange of energy. And then again, it's like you're cleaning yourself, and then if you go with another person that is not doing the same, that you're going to just exchange. And even when they're doing the same, it's like a detox. So you're just going to exchange dirt between each other. There is, a time when that is allowed, but it's not during that process. And this is also, why, some places recommend, or teachers recommend, not to have sex 48 hours before. So you're as clean as you can, and you have, your energy also that you will need during the process that you will go. Like the food restrictions, like I say, is because there is a detox that needs to happen. Like, for example, if there is disease that are building in the body, when you are not eating, and this is already scientific proof, when we are not eating, we are giving the time and the space to our bodies to regenerate. As well, a lot of people, connect emotions with food. And when we take the food away, then, all the emotions comes. So that is also, the detox for the emotion. And the same, in the mental level. And during this time, it's like you are isolated. Your teacher is not there, like guiding you day by day. It's a luxury when when we have a teacher that can be guiding us day by day. The point is that we can find, ourselves, what's happening with us. And when we really cannot anymore, we find the guidance. I remember I saw my teacher very few times, and only in the ceremonies when I was doing my training. And in the ceremonies, he just come, do the ceremony, and then he goes. And it's like, the plants were my teachers, because they are the teachers. My teacher was holding the space, and every time I have, a question, he will, answer to me, of course. But it was not every time I have questions. It was a very interesting times. I remember I was very afraid of the dark. No, I don't mean the dark like, the devil. Yeah, that also before. But I mean like the physical dark. Like I could not sleep without lights. I always need to have a light with me, and I need to be companion like by my pets or something. Otherwise, I was not able to sleep because, like since a child, and now I know, but I didn't know in that time because nobody explained to me. I was already in contact with the spirits, but I wasn't aware. So in the nights was when I feel the strong presence, and nobody told me the difference between spirits and spirits, that they are good spirits, that they are bad spirits, and how you connect with them. So one ceremony, one night, and this was a very difficult also part of my process and learning, because the maloca that my teacher has, it was like 2 floors. And the stairs were almost falling apart, and the toilet was a hole on the jungle that we need to find, in the middle of of the process, and the medicine was like very strong, because as we were going day by day, opening and cleaning, we were becoming more sensitive. And yeah, sometimes I go out and I don't know how to come in. Like, I'm just stuck there in the middle of the jungle, having all these visions and interactions with the spirits. I need always to wait for somebody to go to the toilet when I need to go. So it was a very hard time for me. But then when that night when the medicine show me as a baby inside of a tree, and make me feel the safety inside of the wound, and the innocence and the faith and the trust that I had in that moment in my life. And she made me remember that trust, that faith, that I didn't, I was not thinking about like how my life is going to be, like how my parents are going to be. I was in fully trust that everything will be okay. I was in fully trust that everything will be okay, and I have to remember that. So when the medicine showed me that moment, when I remember that moment, that feeling, that was the moment when I was able to release that fear of feeling unprotected, of that feeling of not knowing what I'm doing here really, and to remember that I did trust the process. I did trust the process of choosing that I have to be in this life. And after that, I was able to go outside, and I still able to do it, and be in the dark and be completely okay with it. I say when ghosts cross to me, then I scream like a baby, but but I'm not afraid anymore, because the trust has been restored inside of me. And it took me 6 months. So for 6 months, I was, suffering every day, sleeping in my little cabin. Like, you don't have any neighbor there. Like, you're just alone there. And, hearing all the noises, different noises of the jungle is like a concert. If it's silence in the jungle, you worry. Here in Europe is the opposite. Like, if it's noisy, you worry. But, yeah, there in those times, it was very very adventurous every day, everything that was happening. Hello, Hemal. You say, can you do it at home with the current restrictions? Hard to travel. Also, any IS anyone is coming to UK. Well, for some friends that I have, and to help their process, you can do like a partly diet, but it's not really a fully diet. You cannot really never compare a full dieta experience like in the nature, than a dieta be at home. I mean, you will of course receive some benefits of it, but not like when you go into the full experience. You can do work. Yes, it takes longer time, of course, and we can talk in terms of percentage. Like, you will benefit probably 40% than in comparison of 100% benefits if you do it in the traditional way. Yes, you can do it. I, for example, do it with my friends in the night, like because of work and because of the circumstances that we have around us. So we do the dietas like from 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. for example. So it's like in those times we are not doing anything, and we are sleeping, of course. So that means that we are not breaking the rules. But also we are committing, that from that time. But then again, it goes slowly, that process. It's not the same like when you're fully into the experience. But yes, it is possible. But then again, you also need guidance, because there are dreams that are coming, and there are processes that start to happen. That if you don't know, if you have not done it before, it's important to be guided during that. Even when it's just 12 hours every day, do a diet. Please feel welcome to ask questions if you want. There is also something very important that happens, when the shamans that are learning are doing their dietas, and that is one of the most important tools that we use when we do ceremonies, which is the Icaros. The Icaros are the songs given by the spirits. All what is created around us, it's a big song. We all, have music inside of us. And that music, that vibration is what is creating all these solid structures the water inside of us. That's how also how the healing is performed in the ceremonies. uh, is the vibration, the frequency in the songs, um, that are interacting with the water in the bodies, that is starting to go back to the original vibration and the original frequency, and that's when healing start to happen. That's when the blockages go out, when people puke. You're puking water, you're puking energy. And this is through the singing, when we are calling the spirits, when we are moving the energies. um, yeah, maybe I sing, I don't know. Do you want me to sing? And I'm thinking what I'm going to sing if I sing something, or maybe in the end, okay, or we do another day about Icarus. uh, the other things that are very important in the ceremonies, um, is, for example, the use of the other tools like the chacapas, the tobacco, and when is the moment to use it, because every tool, it reveals its power, its window in the right time. Like, there is a reason why in the ceremonies we're playing a maraca. There is a reason why we're using the tobacco. It's not just for the nice sound. It's not just for the show. When when we understand the power of our tools, then we can use it in its full potential. Otherwise, it's like buying something and not reading the manual, really, just like guessing how you can use it, so you will not use the full potential of what you have. So that's why it's important that to have the patience, and for this to be unveiled to you, because this is also important part of the process of working with the plants. And this is something that nowadays people doesn't have time. Now they go to Peru, do 1 month diet, and this I have seen. Sometimes they even come to my diets. They do 1 month diet, and the spirits tell them like, "Oh, you're an ayahuasca shaman," and yeah, they want to start doing ceremonies. Even spiritual people, even healers, they get confused because they don't take the time to heal themselves. They don't take the time. They are in a hurry to have the title. They're in a hurry to start working, to start helping people, but that's not the right way to help people. Then again, it's like being a doctor, even deeper than that. The doctor operates with the scalpel in the bodies, and we also operate with the scalpel in the souls. So we need to learn how to use that scalpel. Otherwise, that same tool that can help to heal, it can help also to damage. And sometimes it's very subtle that that we don't see this. Jessica say, I wonder why shamans experience separations between each other. What does the master plan think of this? And if you can be a little bit more specific, because I don't understand the separation between each other. Like, you mean when they fight, or when they what? If you can be a little bit more specific, will be really good, Jessica, please. Yeah, I will sing. I will sing in the end, and I will sing in the end. So you need to watch till the end. There is. I'm trying to remember all these aspects, of training. The most beautiful times for a person, that works with ayahuasca is when you're learning, because that is the time when you can still do mistakes, and when your teachers can guide you. When you are by yourself, there is no time for this. There is no time for yourself. There is no time to go within. There is no time to enjoy. When I'm doing my ceremonies, my focus is in the space, in the energy. I'm lucky sometimes when the medicine give me some messages and some healing, but the main purpose is that the people it's safe and protected, and that they receive the healing. So escaping that step, it's like it's crazy. Yes, Jessica. Yes, the shaman wars. Yeah, but that's a topic that is also connected with not taking the time to go inside, and but also forgetting about the intention of why we want to work with the plants. When we forget why we are doing this, that is when we go to our egos and they start all these, conflicts. And unfortunately, it's a sad reality that, not only ayahuasca shamans, but all spiritual people that are not yet fully grounded and connected with their intentions, still, playing games of power and competition. We are not in competition, and the power that the little power or more power that we can have, we should use it for being the service and not, for personal interest. And this is only, something that comes from within all of us. Like, a shaman is not a saint. A shaman is not, an enlightened person. They just have different knowledge. Like I say, there is no difference between a lawyer, a accountant, a doctor, a shaman. The purpose is to help. But in the personal level, what we want to be, that's another choice that we do. As a person, that we want to be good people. That's another choice that we can, implement. But not everybody, not every healer, not every shaman put that intention also that they also want to be good people, besides helping people. Because also bad people can help people for their egos. You know what I mean? So being a good person, being a better person is a personal decision as well. That, goes together with the intention of helping people. But it's not automatically because you want to help people that you are a good person. Yeah. I think you understand what I mean. Sheba D say, is all people experiencing death during the ceremony? I have in my life, on like these 10 years, I have experienced like 5 times, like very intense spiritual death experiences. And it's, they call it a death because you really feel like you're dying. Like physically, everything stops. Everything stops, even your breath. Everything stops. Your thoughts. You even feel your heart beating is stopping. And then it's like, it's like a reset, where something that, that is ready to, to go or to be transformed is like, and then you come back again, like, more shiny, more lighter, more strong. And I remember the first time when I had my spiritual death, that it was very dramatic, like very dramatic. So the spirits of the jungle came, and they took me, they took me because they say that I didn't want to do it, but I have to do it. So they took me and they buried me alive. And I was not able to move. And they say, well, it's time to die. And this is, it was the only way for me to do it in that time. So I remember, being buried alive and then coming back, with a breath like, and everything, after that, like the energy, how it shifts, the visions, everything, it becomes like, in a very high realms of energy and information. But before that, it was, like going through the dark, through the dark process, being feeling very heavy, and then coming to that moment when you start to slowly feeling that you're dying. But some people is not aware of this process, and they think they are going to die for real, but no, it's not. If there is a possibility to die for real in ayahuasca ceremonies, it's when you are mixing things that should not be mixed, like for example medications, antidepressants, pills for sleep, drugs, and that's why it's important, like if you're going to go to a ceremony, that these details, that not everybody can drink ayahuasca. There are certain like medical conditions that will not let a person to do it. So if there is a way to heal the condition, then you can do that, and then you can do ayahuasca after. In the old times, the use of the medicine was like this: the shamans were drinking the medicine, and the patients were just there, and the shaman was drinking the medicine to see, until the medicine authorized the shamans to give the medicine to the people as well, so they can also have the experience, so they can also grow in their consciousness. growing their consciousness. And this is, how ayahuasca now has been spreading during all this, like 4,000 years of using the medicine. Because in the beginning of the times it was not like that. It came a point, I don't know exactly when the medicine, was able to be shared, so we can have a tool to become aware, to be able to transcend as well. And in all the ancient cultures, they used to have plants, where they use, different, and they help us to reach certain level. The point also with the medicine is that we don't need the medicine, that we don't become dependent of the medicine. It's to help us to realize that we have everything inside, to bring us back, to our original state. And right now, one purpose of the medicine is again to help us to remember, to bring that awareness, but it's not the purpose that is going to be, with us like forever. It's only, a moment, a cycle in our life right now, and where we will need to choose, as a species, where we want to go. If our goal is not anymore surviving as we have been doing, but evolving in consciousness. If that is, our goal as a collective, then all the tools that we have available are going to help us to serve that purpose, and then we will not need, because the main tool is us. The main tool is us. Jessica say a mix of teachings and ego. It's a mix of, yes, ego, but also, direction in life. What do you want in your life? What's your goal in life? Choices that we do as an individual. It is possible that the plant spirit sings an Icaro. I want heard that, yes, the spirits are singing the Icarus. All the Icarus that are giving are coming, from the plants. Like every plant has not only one, some different songs, and that sometimes they are transmitting, teacher to student. Sometimes the students are able to listen the same song and learn it, without listening before. And there is also, unique songs like given to every student. That is connected, with your energy, with your vibration. Like the music that I sing in my ceremonies are, different from the music that my teacher sings. And also, it has different purpose as well. The music that is giving, like we have music to invite the spirits. We have music to work in specific energy points. We have music to maintain the energy. We have music to elevate the energy, the vibration. We have music to bring you in deep trance. We have music to don't let you think. We have we have music for protection. We have music to clean. We have music, to bring emotions, for people also to release things. And when you hear the music of the plants, you need to connect and concentrate, and then try to remember. And if you can't, try to sing. But always, if you're in somebody else's ceremony, always ask for permission when you feel like you want to sing. Always ask for permission, because this is also, having respect for the ceremony space, for the shamans, is also part, of understanding the sacredness of of this work that we are doing. If you have questions, please, you're welcome to ask. I'm trying to remember, because there is so much to talk about this subject. I did my training in the jungle for 1.5 years. I was there with my teacher doing the dietas. It was on and off, like I was doing 15 days, resting 2 days. And when I mean resting 2 days, then I have salt and, fruits. And then again, I go back to the dieta, where it's just we were eating farinha. We were not eating even rice and lentils. That's a luxury. We were eating farinha, which is hard mandioca that you need to add. It's like rocks with taste. Then we have a cup a day. Yeah, I was very skinny in that time. and So people, if you want to go to the diet, you need to put in, and you're already skinny, put weight because you're going to lose a lot, and this is part of the all of the cleaning, of course. Um, what else I remember? Yeah, when you are doing the dietas as well, you are like your energy change. I remember I was walking in the jungle, and sometimes I see the snakes, but they could not see me. Like we were like surprised sometimes to see each other that we didn't saw. Like sometimes poisonous snakes, and this is because the snake talk I'm a plant, and well, plants are not walking around, right? And for me, I was so connected, with the nature that I didn't also notice the snake until I feel something really tall standing behind me, couple of meters after. I was connected, of course, with the air, like I didn't stop over the snake, but I mean, my focus was not, into finding a snake. Anika is asking, what advice do you have for people who want to do ayahuasca but has problem letting go of control? Well, Anika, it's like I will recommend like a lot of meditation to prepare, the mind, because if you don't have the opportunity to do the dietas, this is one of the tools that really helps, to connect, because like the practice of meditation, like focus on your breathing. This you can use. Uh, for me in the beginning, like the first years, my mind still was like shattering and trying to interfere. So it took me, like some time to be able to clean all these thoughts, and especially practice to be present, and not to try to go, the the other thing is like control over what, to ask yourself like what are you have control is, because it's about trusting, and you can also work in that in a personal level, to trust people, to trust your journey, to trust the universe, even when you are in situations that for your mind it tells you things, but in your heart it feels, and that's the moment when you need to trust. But it's a process, Anika. It's a process, so you need to be patient. And meditation, being in the present, also yoga, can help you to master your mind, because most of us is like the mind is our master, but not the opposite. But it takes time, and also patience for that. So be kind with yourself and don't get frustrated, because when you get frustrated also is when you make it we make it harder for ourselves. I what I used to do, and it helped me a lot, when this happened, is just to laugh, like here we go again, to laugh, because it's like adding more stress, or more worries. It really doesn't help uh, the situation anymore. What is other aspect um, of the dietas? Yeah, to be isolated, to not to don't be in interaction with other people, because you need that time to get to know yourself, and it's very difficult for people to spend time with ourselves, um, and like nowadays what happened, you want to be alone, but you have all these distractions. To be alone with yourself and don't have any distractions, don't have your phone, don't have food, don't have anything, just to be with yourself, that is very difficult for people. And when you're able to embrace yourself and to love yourself, in your deepest boredom, then you're starting a process that will make you um, more patient with others as well, more accepting of others as well, less critical of others. That's why I say like the dietas is a very important part of the work with ayahuasca. Even if you don't want to learn, if you want to improve your ceremonies, your work in general, um, the diets, it's like being in a meditation in 24 hours. It's like be passionate but more extreme. because you're also working, with the energies of the plants, with the spirits of the plants. And then these spirits of the plants, they come in the ceremonies to continue teaching you more. And also in your dreams, they come to reveal things. And it's like, in order for them to give you something, then you also need to do something. And that's why, we put our time, our commitment, our discipline, our effort. We do that part, and the spirits see this and they like it, and then, they exchange the information with us. Where we are. Hey Erica, how are you? Hello everybody, thank you for being there. If you have questions, please feel welcome um, to work. There is also another part very interesting of the training, which is, when you meet the demons. This was like in the beginning, of course, really, really awful experience, and this is something that pulls out a lot of people that is learning, because a shaman with fears can really help people. Because a lot of people nowadays, they carrying entities inside of them. There are different kind of entities. We will have an ayahuasca talk with Daryl about this, because he's the expert also in this field. But I really thought this is something from the movies. Even when I was doing ayahuasca, I thought like, yeah, demons. And the thing is that these are energies that they exist. They exist. And that they are eating, from our emotions, normally from our lower emotions, or lower vibrational emotions. And that they sometimes they enter in certain energy points in ourselves, and they are influencing people, in their thoughts, in their emotions, in a negative way, so that they can keep, eating from them. There is other energies that they are not inside people, but in their energy fields, like, doing the same, and or coming and going, like picking people, just as we do with, with the nature and with the animals. Like, we are using them and we are parasiting them. The same, there are energies that are also parasiting us. So it's not like, oh, how bad. It's just part of the experience. But now, as for example, humanity is moving to a more conscious way of feeding themselves and having energy. Like, for example, we have now the vegetarianism, the veganism, the breatharians, the fruitarians, and all these things. Also, when we start to become more aware about this energy and we start to clean them, we also are pushing them to find, different ways of where they can get energies from. Jessica's ego loss can be long lasting and difficult to adjust oneself in the time after. Any advice to come back to get more normal state sooner? What is a normal state, Jessica? Do you feel grounded, or where do you feel you are? You can contact me in private. We can have a talk. We can do a checking about what's happening with you. Anything, I just expelled the sexual energy from back of heart chakra. Yes, there are, energies that also are influencing, people, like, for example, in the sexual level, in the mental level, in the blocking the heart, bringing fears. When I encountered these energies in the ceremonies, first, they were interfering in my experience, but making everything dark and evil and blah blah blah. But these were only illusions. That, with the time, I managed to see. And it only, in the moments that it became real, is because I was taking it as a reality. I was, embracing my fears in a negative way. I was believing in my fears. When I realized it's just illusions, that they vanish, they lose power, over me. And it's also, a process of trusting, and knowing which direction you want to go. I remember I keep, telling myself, like, I work with the light, I am the light, and I am light. And, sometimes, some nights, it feels like eternity, with, all these energies that sometimes were sent by other shamans. So we don't work, we get scared. and we need to wait until the sunlight comes so they can, go away. Then there were energies that were coming in the people, with the with the people, and when we were doing the ceremony, we were seeing how these things were taken away. And this is also something that it happens in the ceremonies. It's always, in a group of people, there is always like at least two the two people that has entities. uh, at least in my experience, like always there is two people, like minimum, that have entities, or and parasites. uh, a lot of people has it, like most of us. And they come, like for example, if you don't know again about how to like work with energies, or if you're not aware about energies, like it's enough that you go with the public transport and you're a little bit open to get sometimes these kind of things. um, well, I have a funny history, but I don't think my friend Alberta will let me share it. So it's very important to learn, how to clean your energy, how to protect your energy, because we are energy and we are exposed, to energy. We are this planet, this reality. It's all about energy. Like if you think about, we are working, to pay for have energy that will give us life. Like food is energy, and electricity is energy, um, and driving a car is energy, flying, it's energy. Everything is energy. When we learn, how to work with the energy, we are going to be free. Alberto says with pleasure. Not that I'm not going to share. Well, it's coming now. The time to finish these talks. I'm going to do maybe a second part, or come with a specific subjects in the future, but I don't want to like take more of your time, and I will close this space with singing a song. But I want a maraca or something, but I don't have it here, and I don't know where is my drumstick. So I'm just going to sing like that. Well, if you want and to receive some, of the healing of what I'm going to sing, I invite you to lay down and close your eyes if you feel like. And now I just need to think about what I'm going to sing. Alberta, help me here. What's amazing? Let's see what it comes. And with this song, I say goodbye to all of you. Okay. La luna azul y morena, la luna azul y morena, dime luna hermosa, luna maravillosa, ahí muéstrame el camino a la luz, limpia la energía, abre corazones, luna. La 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 luna azul y morena, dime luna hermosa, luna maravillosa, ahí muéstrame el camino a la luz, limpia la energía, Abre corazones, luna. Abre sentimiento. La luna, azul y morena. La luna, azul y morena. Dime luna hermosa, luna maravillosa, ahí muéstrame el camino a la luz, limpia la energía. Okay. I hope you enjoyed, and we see you until the next ayahuasca talks. Well, now it's going to be very often, and normally I'm posting a day before. So if you want to know, you can follow me on my Facebook, and then you will receive the notification when I'm live, or in the ayahuasca talks group. You need to check for. I think there is a button to receive notifications when we go live. Take care, everybody. Have a good weekend, and see you until the next time. Bye bye.